Kurlander Fake News with a Purpose. I am your host, Scott Kurland. We have a great show for you tonight. We have been on a little hiatus to prep the show. I got a new beard, and we also got a new digital set, baby. We're digital! My guest tonight is Mass in Motion's Kara Showers, so let's do this thing, shall we? 2 weeks ago, from Thursday, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the individual health care mandate, or Obamacare. You know what that means. One small step for universal health care, one giant leap for some idiot who cleans his firearm with the safety off. GOP attendees were thrown out of the convention for throwing nuts at an African-American CNN camerawoman and calling her an animal. Ah, yes, the RNC GOP convention, where everyone's equal unless you're a member of the liberal media. In their defense, I got nothing. Lindsay Lohan racked up a $46,000 hotel bill at the Chateau Marmont. $3,145 of that bill was in minibar charges. Looks like someone needed a $100 Toblerone. Oh wait, yeah, she's an alcoholic. Never mind. Well, it's official, folks. Clint Eastwood finally went nuts, talking to a chair and screaming at it, pretending it was President Obama. Looks like somebody forgot to take their 3 o'clock pill. It's okay, Grandpa Clint. We'll get you a glass of warm milk, and you can tell us all your crazy conspiracy theories. Someone call the home. Christian Bale has been spending the last few months checking and visiting the victims of the tragic Aurora shooting, spending hours on end with the people and posing for pictures. Continuing his charity work, Bale sent an Ohio boy, Jaden Barber, who has leukemia, to Disneyland and took Barber and his family out to lunch. In related superhero news, at McDonald's, Superman actor Brandon Routh is asking you, would you like fries with that? Bristol Palin's former flame, Levi Johnston, just greeted his second child with girlfriend Sunny Oglesby. The couple named their child Breeze Beretta after Levi's favorite shotgun. Seriously? Okay. Well, Johnston is 22 and unemployed. Oh, come on now! Have we not seen Idiocracy? This is how it all starts and ends, with Secretary of State Beef Supreme. Former Kardashian husband Chris Humphries is being sued by a woman who claims he gave her an STD. Whoa! That's absolutely crazy. Can she really do that? Sue over the possibility of an STD? These are all the things Charlie Sheen is saying when he heard that story. In the Ukraine, a new exhibit service called Sleeping Beauties is taking the country by storm. Models lie asleep while men watch them and decide if they are going to kiss them. If they are kissed, the woman is contractually obligated to marry her Prince Charming. But the real winner here are those guys buying tickets to the Ukraine right now. I'm sure she'll love your mom's basement, boys. Mitt Romney picked Paul Ryan to be his vice president running mate for the 2012 election. Wait a minute. I think I just figured it out. This isn't luck. The monsters are united! Wait a minute. Obama Biden? Or should I say Arnold Jackson and Mr. Droman? What are you talking about, Mr. President? Apple is going to release its new iPhone 5 this week. The speculation is that the price of the new iPhone will be the highest yet at a close $800, which leads to a lot of conversations that begin with this. I'm sorry, Billy. I know you want braces for your teeth that you badly need, but I have an app that can make you not look so much like a freak of nature. Happy birthday, love, Grandpa. Chipotle restaurant was busted for cheating customers out of pennies after they were caught rounding bills ending in 99 cents up to the next dollar amount. I know what you're saying. I have a little more self-respect than to go to a Chipotle. And you're smart to say that, manager of Taco Bell. Surrey Cruise begins school this week, and it looks like the little scamp is making headlines already. parents are already protesting that the child's presence may be detrimental to their child's learning process. How could it be detrimental? It's not like her father's a Scientologist. Oh, wait. Okay, it's not like her parents are going through a huge media frenzy divorce. Oh, right. Well, kid, you're on your own. Designer Sai Chan has designed the Cold and Lonely coat, aka the Hug Me jacket. The jacket consists of arms where buttons should be and are in the form of a hug for its male wearers. That's not creepy at all. Coming next spring, the Human Centipede Snuggie. On Tuesday, hundreds of Obama is a traitor occupiers stood in front of the bus entrance of the DNC convention. One protester even set up a tent. Is this what we're coming to, calling the president a traitor because they haven't met their goals yet? I mean, I've been calling presidents traitors for years, starting with Warren G. Harding and going all the way to Reagan. Seriously? Reagan, you ate all those jelly beans? That's bollocks. However, I would never block the DNC. I mean, they didn't block the RNC when Clint Eastwood yelled at a chair. The DNC has Betty White. Betty White, folks! A Golden Girl supports Obama. And Dirty Harry yells at IKEA. We'll be right back. Last week, the RNC was held, and this week, the DNC is occurring. With the election right around the corner, and us as Americans being thrown into a political hodgepodge of unworthy candidates, it's up to our senior political correspondent, Adam Bagni, to give us an up-to-date blow-by-blow of both conventions. Adam?
Thank you, Scott. If last week's RNC convention is any indicator, we are in for a long and difficult election full of mudslinging and empty campaign promises.
Whoa! Adam! You actually did the assignment given to you?
Yes, Scott, this is a very important political campaign we're dealing with here, and it is my duty to... Wait.
What?
What is that?
What is what?
What is that on your face?
It's a beard and mustache. I was growing it through hiatus.
You look ridiculous. Oh, hold on, let me get Rachel in here.
No, don't call Rachel in here. Do the rest of your story.
All right, Hans Gruber from Die Hard.
Just tell your report.
Take it easy, Serpico. I don't want to make you be a dirty, violent cop. Well, with Romney picking Paul Ryan as his running mate, we can see that it does wonders for Romney's approval with younger men and middle-aged women. Just like your mustache does wonders for the John Waters fan in you.
Enough! Please, continue with the story, and I'll have you know that John Waters is a respected filmmaker.
Sure he is, Grizzly Adams. Now, what the DNC has to look into is... I'm sorry, Scott, don't you need to get back to Bonnaroo?
Come on, Adam, you were doing so well. You were on the right track.
I'm sorry, let me get back to my presentation. I even have props from the RNC versus DNC.
Oh, wow, really? That's great. Let's see.
I am the Scott-Tax. I speak for the trees. Heed my warning. I look as ridiculous as Scott does with a beard and mustache.
Adam, come on now!
Sorry, Miami Vice. Didn't mean to offend you, Don Johnson.
I didn't make fun of you when you grew your goatee.
Hey! My goatee makes me look good.
Debatable.
Hey, aren't you going to be late for a hacky sack tournament? Or is it Ultimate Frisbee today?
Adam, please, is there anything you can tell me about the conventions?
You look like Ulysses S. Grant's inept brother.
All right, Adam, thank you.
Wait, I'm kidding. I just feel left out sometimes, and I don't get to do all the big jokes, and I just wanted to find my own way.
Really, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, you do the headlines, then I come in and clean the grill, and you stock the napkins, I flip the burgers, you wipe down the tables, but today you forgot, and I had to do it all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute! That's Jeff Daniels' speech from Pleasantville.
Or is it?
It is. We don't run a 1950s diner.
Or do we?
Come on, Adam. Where is my story on the RNC versus the DNC?
You'll have your story when you and that Santa Claus beard of yours give me the unicorn I asked for when I was 6.
Adam Bagni, everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Kurlander. My guest tonight is Mass in Motion's Kara Showers. And Kara, thank you so much. You're on the new set.
It's beautiful.
It's
I love
very
it.
white.
It is.
So, basically, school's starting back up again.
Yes.
Which means not a lot of kids are going to have time to do their summer activities of, I don't know what kids do these days. I sound so old saying that.
You're young at heart. Don't worry.
Well, that makes me feel weird because I'm like 26. But, I mean, we've gone from the summer season where kids are out all the time. There's pools, there's Canby Lake, there's Six Flags, there's everything for kids to do in the summer. And then as we get into the school year, we got homework and we got little extracurriculars. It seems like more extracurriculars are less like football oriented and now more like video games. Mm-hmm. So with Mass in Motion, what do we need to do to get kids to not be so chubby anymore? Like, why are they so chubby?
Well, I want to start off by saying you're right. We are back to school. It's hit the ground running, not enough hours in the day for families and kids and working mom and dads or not working mom and dads. And the good news is there are offerings at our schools in Wakefield, gym classes. You're right, some of the after-school clubs are a little more technology-oriented now, but there are still after-school sports and walking clubs and different activities that our kids can be involved with that do get them moving. Even some teachers now are incorporating exercise breaks throughout the day, so there's a lot of research that shows if during 1 hour at school, if you have a minute or two where you can move in your chair, move your arms, move your legs, stretch, gets your brain woken up again, it lights up, kids can learn better. So you have teachers and administrators that are actively working that into the classroom now, which is exciting. So there are some structured exercise, moving type things happening for kids, but still that anytime you can move, it's great for your body and your mind. So there are little ways that we can incorporate that into our daily lives and keep it going.
Right. With Hunger Games being so big now, why don't we just send the kids with a bunch of bow and arrows out into the yard and be like, go ahead, Billy, go have fun.
Good idea. Bow and arrows,
but I'm saying like cash in on franchises. I mean, when Harry Potter came out, we had Quidditch, yep. And then when we had Jurassic Park, we had that was when I was little. We had Dinosaur Tag.
Yep.
But I mean, cash in on like kids love movies. Kids love games. Like there are tons of things you can make into movement without even saying, gee, we need to go exercise now, or you got to go running. We can make, everyone has a rope in their garage, let's do a quick tug of war with the family, that 10 minutes before dinner's on the table. I think, everybody gets a different color bucket. I have young boys. Mm-hmm. And you can put sticks, run around the yard, pick up sticks, put them in the different color buckets. How many do we have? Make it fun, because who has an extra hour a day, to go to the gym? It's really hard these days. So all those little things we can incorporate into our days. Is it bad that I thought when you said play a game with your kids, I thought like you have like this giant American Gladiator obstacle course with like a giant aggro crag and these little like 6-year-old boys climbing a mountain?
That's not bad. That's good. Because, I do really think like we're losing sort of that fun aspect. And how much junk do you have in your garage or in your basement that you could just put out in a row and have, show the kids how you would jump over it or run around it or zigzag in it. Put your phone down for a minute, just do it, and you're all getting, fun and movement out of it.
See, I don't go into my basement. My basement scares
Scary?
me. Yeah, it looks like something out of a Stephen King novel. So I always have my roommate go down there. I'm like, hey, can you check that out? Because I'm terrified. But
don't go where you're scared. No. You stay upstairs.
But I feel like
kids these days, it's all psychological too. Like, if a kid's teased on the playground, they're not going to want to go out and play. If a kid's called fat or chubby, they're not going to want to do anything of that nature. I mean, how do we
help with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's easier said than done because kids are not going to cooperate easily when it comes to exercise. I mean, there's that kid who's like 6 foot tall when he's like 10, and he's like awesome at basketball. But then there is like the kids like me and my friends. We were tiny little kids. We looked like the South Park kids. Yep. There I was with the green hat and everything.
I'm envisioning it.
Yeah, and the orange jacket. But it's not easy anymore. I mean, kids don't want to be made fun of. It's really hard for a kid to exercise if they feel like they are, negative body image.
Yep, definitely. I think, especially now that school's back, we have our counselors, our teachers, our principals who should be our best advocates. So parents should be talking with their their kids' teachers and making sure the communication is open and everyone knows what's going on in that kid's life. I think encouraging, when you know your kids, if your child's comfortable walking, I mean, let's not throw them in a ballroom dancing class where they're, very self-conscious. Let's just stick with what works. Walking's pretty easy. Most people know how to do it. Maybe playing in the backyard with your dog is something that, you forget about any insecurities you have. You're just having fun throwing the ball around, something like that. Just kind of push the things that maybe make that child feel better or not have them thinking about, some of their insecurities. Because no matter what age, we all have our insecurities. So maybe focus on the things that make that child feel comfortable.
Or if you're Kevin Costner's kid, building a baseball diamond in a cornfield.
Yes, go that route.
Technology is, I want to say, a distraction, but at the same time, kids...
It's a sedative.
Yeah, it's a sedative. That's the correct word. I mean, how do we like get rid of that completely? I mean...
I don't know that we will ever do that. And my sort of thought is, gee, if you're really kind of a plugged-in kid, a lot of us are now. A lot of us have kids that are, computer. It's the iPad, the iPod, the whatever. Let's do, what about Dance Dance Revolution? What about, We Fit? There are...
Yeah, they're doing that at schools now, right?
They're doing it at schools now. And actually, in October, the Wakefield Public Library is going to do a little segment on We and Dance Dance Revolution. So I think, add that in. Start incorporating that if that's where, you and your family feel comfortable, where you're kind of at. Start there. Start incorporating some of the active video games, because there are some. It's those little changes.
I mean, how do we get back to that? I mean, I know there's no way of getting back to that, but...
Yeah, I think... you're right. Today's life, it's so structured, it's so overbooked and filled with screens. And so a lot of research, though, really still shows if you could just unplug yourself for 5 minutes, start with 5 minutes if you're a really plugged-in family or kid, and, go out. I mean, we have so many great parks, playgrounds, school fields. It doesn't matter if you just feel like running around and, going crazy, singing a song, whatever, and then plug yourself back in if you need to after that. But just try it, get out there. And I think the unstructured activities, they're so important because it's such an outlet. You can, if you do the pickup game, whatever kind of game, or you guys make it up, you and your friends out at some park, you're building skills, you're skill building, you're problem solving, you're socializing. There's so many other sort of, mental pieces that come into play that are, being lost with this generation. So, we need to, as families, say, plugged in is good to a certain point.
Right.
Then you need to say, shut everything off for 2 minutes. Nothing earth-shattering is going to happen. Just get outside for a minute or run around down in the basement if it's not scary. But you know what I mean? Just try it. You'll like it. It's just those little changes and incorporations.
I mean,
Start somewhere.
It feels like imagination is kind of like dying these days. Now that we have technology to tell us how to do everything. When I was little, I mean, the games that we played, I feel like Bill Cosby now. When I was little,
Kids today
don't respect their elders. But I feel like when I was little, we made games up out of like movies that had nothing to do with anything action. Ever played Forrest Gump, the action game? Yeah. I mean, we always did Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. I was always Tina Turner, but
full disclosure,
I had the wig and everything.
I could see it.
The mohawk, and
Mm.
everyone called me Auntie.
Oh.
But yeah, that was like creativity. But it feels like so many reasons we have low self-esteem. This generation, they did a poll in elementary schools. Children have the lowest self-esteem of any decade, of any generation. The self-esteem is so low, and I don't know if it's because of shows like Jersey Shore or negative role models, but we need to get these kids happy. I mean, I don't know how we would do it.
Well,
any suggestions?
Hey, yeah, I mean, we can't solve the world's problems, but I think, you're right. I think it definitely has something to do with us being so, sitting all day, plugged in, as we keep talking about. And I do think, and not only what I think, but what the research and data show us, is that moving, eating a little bit better, eating a little bit less, helps us feel better. So it's kind of almost that simple, believe it or not. And if we can just do, like a typical school kid, so like a 6 to 12-year-old needs 60 minutes of physical activity a day. That's like the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control's recommendation.
So are you saying recess should be longer?
Yeah, I think, hey, if we can get our kids walking to and from school, biking, scootering, whatever, that's already almost their day's worth of, activity. And then if we do these little tiny changes throughout the day, you're going to get in. Try these 5 to 10 minute increments. You'll get it in. When you're driving to work, Scott, tomorrow, ab crunches. Do it. Then it's done. You got your 5 minutes in. I think just all these things.
Should I also lift the car as I'm parking it in?
You should definitely.
Yeah,
yes.
just push it in there.
Yeah, well, you can kind of do the parallel park if you want, and that's really challenging. But seriously, like, I just think doing, eating a little bit better and moving a little more really does improve your mental state.
Now,
from kids up.
What I always want to know,
Yeah.
with the whole urban legend, is it true you're not supposed to eat after 8 o'clock? Is that just something that my mom always told me to just not eat so much?
It's the amount calories in, calories out. And then this is the other piece that's hard. We didn't really touch on it today, but you hear all these mixed messages from the media about like coffee's the new diet drug, or and then the next week it's like coffee makes you fat, and it's just like all these fads are ridiculous, and they make you want to sit there and not do anything because you can't keep up with them. So I think throw all that out the window. The 8 o'clock thing, it's like, what? I mean, I'm in fairly good shape. I don't go to the gym. I eat after 8 o'clock, but I also move during the day and I eat a fairly well-balanced diet. I think it all and I'm just one example of, what works for certain people and what may not work for other people. But I think all these, I say throw that urban legend out. And if you are hungry, grab something after 8. Preferably like a piece of fruit though, but.
Chocolate-covered bacon it is. But
if you want that, have it. Have a bite though. That's it. Don't eat a whole plate of it. Like that's the key.
I would. Have you ever seen it? It's the grossest thing.
I haven't.
Chocolate-covered bacon. It looks exactly.
Sounds pretty awesome though.
It sounds awesome. It sounds awesome, but it's just chocolate covered in bacon, and the novelty wears off.
But okay.
But basically, thank you for being here. We've gotten into a lot of topics, and if you want to come back, we would love to have you.
I'd love to be back.
So, but
I'd like to show you my the squats I do while I'm pretending to splash with my kids in the bathtub demo. We can do things like
Should
that.
I wear like leg warmers? Should I do the Olivia
Absolutely.
Newton-John from Let's Get Physical?
You should.
Yeah, with the headband to the side.
You can do a skit next time.
Okay.
Show folks at home what they can do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kara, for being here. And folks, next time, what we're going to do is we're going to get into our 80s gear, and we're totally going to let's get physical. We could also do a few Phil Collins Susu Studio, but thank you, Kara, for being here.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Thank you. And